It's the Al Travis Show, and in with us, our favorite farmer, Jerry Groskreutz. Jerry, how you doing, my boy?
Well, I'm doing a little bit better than I was last week after we got that 6 inches of rain. Mind-boggling. In 5 days, I could have been out spraying the beans.
Well,
If you would have
and
quit talking so much, it was so windy that I couldn't spray until Monday.
and I think 95-degree heat and the little wind, that's got to dry up a lot of stuff pretty darn fast. So when we left you last time in the terrible rain that you had, you thought most of the corn, because it was already knee-high by the 4th of July, that was going to be okay. How about the beans?
I only lost about 5% of the beans that drowned it out. I was pretty pleased. And my sweet corn that was just emerging,
Yeah.
I lost very little of that. It came really fast, and we got
Look.
it drained out pretty fast. But it really helped because it was a small area. Like
Okay.
last year, all the drainage ditches, the rivers, the creeks were already at flood stage when they came into our area. So it took a
No.
lot longer to drain out last year. So hopefully, but I got a question for you, Al.
Give it to me.
All right. Well, seems to me not that long ago, a number of meteorologists were talking about we were maybe going to have a drought this summer. Reminds me of the old saying, those meteorologists have predicted 7 of the last 2 droughts.
I love that. Let me ask you, with 5% of the beans then down, will you go back out and try to put in some 30-day beans or whatever they got?
I plant typically around group maturity 2.0 beans, and I've got
I have
some.
no idea what you just said. Group maturity 2.0. What is that? What?
That's how, like, we rate corn relative maturity and how many days.
Okay.
Well, we rank beans according to group 1.0, 1.3, 1.5, 2.0. So I go in with some really early beans. It was just about dried out completely. One little spot had some water in it, and it sounds like that little spot might get some more water in it. But I got another question for you, Al. There
Go
was
ahead.
some little water hemp weeds because I put on the pre-emergence herbicide that was wearing off. So now we come back with a second pass. The beans died in this spot, but those little darn water hemp plants didn't drown out. Could you explain why?
Jerry, I got a piece of artificial turf that my wife and I put all our lawn furniture on, and there are weeds growing through it. It's growing through the plastic. I don't even. Let me ask you this, though. Rough acreage do you do? How many acres are you out there making sure the weeds aren't getting in?
I just got 320 acres.
All right. I have not one full acre, but I spent 2 days between my place and my parents putting a little Roundup out there. Do you use the Roundup? I use the Roundup. Trying to get rid of these weeds. Oh, my God. My hand's tired of squirting. How do you do 300 acres? My God, you must run through those little squirter bottles like nobody's business. Can't even imagine.
Yesterday afternoon, I could spray 40 acres with my sprayer, and it took about an hour and 15 minutes to spray 40 acres because it got a 60-foot boom
Yeah.
at 30 pounds of pressure, 20 gallons of water an acre, and so it goes pretty fast.
But you have to explain this to me. That was my joke. So you're out there, you're just spraying this thing down. Why? And I use Roundup because I don't have another name. I don't have another name. You spray it. I can't get this even close to my wife's rose bush, or it curls up and I'm getting yelled at. I have to run at every weed I want. How do you not kill the corn or the beans when you're just shooting it all over?
Well, number one, you check, double check, and triple check to make sure you have the right herbicides
Yeah.
and with the right adjuvants and activators and all those things. And it's even gotten so complicated now. I was using 4 different herbicides spraying my beans, and you have to make sure you mix them in the tank in the right order, or it might start to precipitate out because some of the chemicals don't play real nice together. It's
Oh
gotten
my
a lot more
God.
complicated.
Who teaches you that lesson? You're picking up this stuff at the bomb guards. They're like, hey, you can't combine those two or put these. Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
And, well, when a new herbicide comes on the market, a new formulation, you go to classes and you talk to your supplier or your agronomist to make sure you're doing everything right. And then, like, I could have sprayed on Sunday or Saturday, even though it was so hot. Some herbicides. You ever heard this saying now? Always read and follow label directions.
Yeah, most of it is psychedelic drugs you hear on TV.
So some herbicides you aren't supposed to spray them if the temperature is supposed to get above 85 degrees. Some it
Oh,
doesn't matter. Some you want to rain right after you spray them on. Some you don't. Or like if I'm mixing four herbicides together
yeah.
to spray, now let's see, we got 15-mile-an-hour winds. So you got to check the label of each one. And if one of them says I'm not over 10 miles an hour, then you have to wait for another day.
Well, and that's back to, we all remember the incident of 2024 when you oversprayed
Yeah.
something and it leaked into your peas, and they cut those peas out like nobody's business.
Yep.
How do you guard against it? I mean, it's windy. It's windy.
Well, I was actually within label, but I had forgotten that peas were super sensitive to this one herbicide in this big class of herbicides.
No, goodness, I
And
don't
so
know.
I don't use that one anymore. And I'm happy to report I'll have to take a picture of it and show my nice clean cornfield right next to my bird's eye pea field that
I
I
would like to
didn't
see
do an
that.
oops this year.
I would like to see that. Let me ask you this though, as we go through the week, and again, you weren't drowned out. Knock on wood. But we are looking at, well, I don't know where you're at, but I'm looking at another inch to 2 inches of rain coming tomorrow and Thursday. I think we can handle it. I don't see a lot of standing water. Can you handle another inch or two?
You could handle it better than we could because we picked up that 6 inches
Yeah, that's
earlier
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
week. And it depends on how fast it comes through. If you got an inch and a half today and another inch or so tomorrow, it wouldn't be too bad. But I'll tell you what, it'd be really discouraging if we do pick up 2 or 3 inches and those holes that had water standing in, the corn didn't drown out, got kind of sick and yellow looking. The water disappeared. Yesterday I was out, the corn was just starting to green up. The top leaves coming out were turning nice and green again, yellow on the bottom. Boy, would that be discouraging if those potholes were sitting
Yeah.
full of water and
Yeah.
then the corn would drown out. And I did see a neighbor had a bigger spot and the corn wasn't completely underwater, but it sat in water so long that the corn did die. But
Mm.
uh,
Let me
I,
ask you this: where are you sitting on average? My golf course corn, the only corn I walked, is it got no problem being knee high by the 4th of July, which we all talk about. I mean, this stuff, it's going to be over my head, I presume, by the
oh,
4th. With 95 degrees, heat, humid wind, and the rest, and all that water, I presume you could actually stand out and watch your corn grow this week?
just about. And you can actually hear corn grow.
Really?
Yeah.
I presume you can. Have that many stalks all
Yeah.
stretching and going. I bet you can.
If you go out there at night on a quiet night and the corn is in the rapid growth phase, sometimes you can hear a pop, a little pop, as that next leaf opens up. And
Really?
yeah.
All right. We've got to go to break. Got some stuff to talk about, Jerry. Love having you on the program. Stick around, will you?
Oh, don't tell my wife I could hear that one. Sometimes I can't hear her.
Yeah, selective loss of hearing. I've got that at my home. It's a thing. It's a true thing. Back after this with Jerry Groskreutz. We've got him, Jerry Groskreutz, farmer extraordinaire, talking all things farming today. Jerry, the news is about, from Ag Week, the Farm Bill. Looks like Colin Peterson has got no real hope that they're going to get a new one, but, we'll just extend the old one. Come on, Jerry, you're happy with that, aren't you?
Well, not particularly, but they have kind of split it up a little bit, put some of the commodity provisions in that continuing resolution bill. And I did many interviews with Colin Peterson when he was representative over the years. And he said if they start doing that, we might not ever get a farm bill. We'll see.
Yeah, here we are. Let's talk about the heat. According to Brownfield, they're talking about cattle farmers need to really watch cattle in this sort of heat. I'm glad have water out. I get it, but What am I missing? If you were a cow back in the day, and I likened a bison or something, it got hot. Don't they just go find water and take care of it? You really? What do you got? I mean, know what I'm saying? What am I missing? That cows just falling over from the heat because they're too stupid to go get some water? What am I missing, Jerry?
Well, I used to be a dairy farmer, and on a really hot 95-degree day like we had last weekend, my cows were pretty comfortable because we had a freestall barn
There you go.
and you had the sidewalls open. They had mattresses to lay on in the freestalls.
Living the dream.
There was a water mister going through the barn. And like if you have to be walking through and it came on to be like on for a minute, off for 15 minutes, you would start to shiver because
Boy.
that cold water would drip a little bit,
Sure.
light mist, and then would shut off because you don't want to get them really wet, but it helps cool them. You have the fans going. You got the fly control system going, so they don't have to worry about the flies. And
Is that when you say fly control system? Is that those little dangly sticky tapes that they just go flying? Is that your control system, or what are you talking about?
Oh no, we had hoses that went through the barn, and every so often it would start up, and it would spray the flies. It runs so often, like a minute every hour or whatever. And you could also contract with a company where they spray the free stalls and stuff with like a fly repellent, and they'd come in once a month and spray it, and so you didn't have to worry about the flies. So I'll tell you, my cows had it better than a lot of people in this world.
Well, and again, we want to take care of animals. Again, I presume pigs are the same way in these big barns, but Brownfield, they put the word out, watch out for the heat. Jerry, you're sitting here talking about heat units and corn stalks, and if you were in the pig business, you wouldn't say, well, that seems kind of hot. We better go turn the shower system on. I mean, what are we warning people about? You do this for a living, Jerry.
Yep. And it's all about the more comfortable we can keep our animals, the more productive they are, and then the more money we're going to make. So we do everything we can to keep them comfortable. Maybe it's somebody that has a few or just got into having a couple cattle 4-H projects, or maybe they just don't know a lot about it. But anybody that's raising livestock, this is part of automatic.
Okay. We obviously in southern Minnesota, we're talking rain and some wind and some heat. You any idea how much crop damage was done with the big tornadoes and the tornado-like winds up in the Bemidji and Brainerd area? That area?
Well, up until a few years ago, I'd never heard of a quote derecho.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it. I heard about the one across Iowa a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I was trying to Google it, and I was trying to figure out how to spell it close enough to get the darn computer to recognize it to tell me what it was. But it's a big area with really high winds. Well, we got hit just a little ways east of you last Monday.
Yeah.
I was kind of complaining about getting 6 inches of rain.
Yeah,
well, a little ways east of you, they got 6 inches of rain and tremendous hailstorm. Talked to one farmer who had 800 acres of beans wiped out.
Wow. And that's stuff that, man, you just can't get ready for. Before I let you go, Jerry, I want to throw this out here. Maybe, I bet you know about it. The 6th annual Minnesota Youth Livestock Expo, they call it Miley. Livestock show is going to be held in Martin County Fairgrounds, Fairmont, Minnesota, the 26th through the 29th, which I'm doing in my head would be Thursday through Sunday.
Yep. And then
what
I
is
think
that?
Early in July, then they're going to have the swine or hog part of it, and I think that's over in Austin. It's really cool. Kent TC and a bunch of other volunteers decided to try and put this together the COVID year, when all these kids were taking care of their livestock projects, and all at once all the fairs got canceled, and they were able to figure out a way to meet all the guidelines and still have this show so the kids could at least show their animals. And all at once it was so popular, and it's gained in popularity. It's the second biggest livestock show in the state, only beaten out by the Minnesota State Fair.
Wow, and that's got to do something for guys like you. You go they have 855 entries in this one in Fairmont. I don't know. Once you've seen the first 100 cows, don't they look a lot alike? Are you able, I'm not trying to be cruel. I mean, at some point I'm going to get lost in the numbers, but you guys see those differences. This is that big. It's
Oh, absolutely. And the other really cool thing, Al, is it's kids doing something besides looking at their cell phone.
exactly.
They're hanging around with other good kids, with other adult mentors, and learning something, doing something constructive. So, and it's something about if you learn how to take care of an animal, it's teaching you responsibility too.
Absolutely. And if you go to this thing, you could probably take selfies with the animals,
Yep.
and people will think that you knew what you're talking about with animals. Guys like me, I could just get
Absolutely.
lots of pictures of me and pic.
Yep.
Hey, Jer, love having you on. I thank you for taking the time to do this with us every week. I really do.
I always enjoy it, and I try not to whine too much about the weather.
Yeah, and if this is you holding back, we got problems. All right. Jerry Groskreutz, not whining about the weather on the Al Travis Show. More coming up. Stick around.